Hello and welcome to Freedom Through Astrology, where we're giving you the keys to having a successful life. It's freedomthroughastrology.com. I'm your astrologer, Donald Patak. There's my email address, standard YouTube copyright. I apologize for this late recording. I like getting these out on Sunday evening, but I had probably one of the worst migraines I've had, and I don't know how long, and it didn't lift until early this morning. So still feeling it. Keys to the reading. How do you understand this reading? Because when I'm reading this, it's going to sound different than what you're used to if you follow mainstream astrology. First of all, I follow something that's closer to sidereal. It's getting the name actually of constellational astrology. It's astrology by the visible sky, which I believe is more in alignment with the way the ancient astrologers read astrology. So it's astrology by the visible sky. Tropical astrology fixes the signs to seasons. That's off by about approximately 25 degrees right now. It's actually 25 degrees ahead. Um, so there's that. I use the natural size of the constellations. There are astrologers who fix each constellation at 30 degrees. In the visible sky, they're all over the place. Virgo is just under 50 degrees. Aries is just under 25, as well as Scorpio. So the constellations are all different sizes. I'm using astrological midpoints. What that means, the boundaries, if you ever look at a constellation map and they have the boundaries drawn on it, those boundaries are drawn by the IAU, and it's kind of arbitrary the way they drew those lines. Athens Shementi came up with a system where he was looking at the zodiac belt, and he found the last bright star of constellation A, the first bright star of constellation B, figured out the midpoint, and said, let's use that. So I use that. I find it very accurate. In ancient times, the calendar had 13 months because there are still 13 new moons in a solar year. So I use the 13 signs, and it's actually there whether people like it or not. The sign is Ophiuchus. It's a symbol of the wounded healer. It symbols of a man holding a snake. It's where you have a snake in ancient times symbolized knowledge. So it's where you have knowledge, and the intention is to heal yourself and then heal others with similar wounds. What I am reading here, these are the weekly transits. So these are the universal lessons for everybody. So we're all experiencing these together. So be kind. Yeah, these, let's see. Next is evolutionary astrology. There are some astrologers who read things very fatalistically. Evolutionary astrology says that these constellations, these planets, have lessons for us to learn, and you can choose. There's a high road and a low road. Pick. And my timing is based on the Eastern U.S. time zone. So whatever time it is right now, I don't even know what time it is. Oh, 9:22 a.m. in the Eastern time zone. So base yourself off of that. That's when I'm recording this. Still feeling tired from that migraine. It was bad. I would not wish that one on my worst enemy. But these are all based on the Eastern U.S. time zone, so your timing may be a little bit different. All right. And this is the weekly transit report for July 15th through July 21st. The moon is busy this week. She's a fast mover. Completes Virgo, and then it's like almost every day, Monday, Tuesday, she's in I'll show this to you, but she rips through signs until she settles, and the weekend she settles in Sagittarius. We do have our full moon in Sagittarius. Sign change. The sun enters Cancer this week, the sign of Cancer. So we do have that change. Active this week, very active. Well, the sun is active in its own right, but with the planets Mercury, Venus, and Mars are also active with aspects to Jupiter, nodes, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. I forgot to put Chiron in there. Chiron, Mercury's aspecting Chiron. Oops, my bad. And this week we have 3 planets in retrograde. Neptune, which is your spirituality, Saturn, which is your individuality and authentic, Saturn, which is maturity, and Pluto in Capricorn is your deep transformation. So let's see, let's pull this up, this down here. And as you can see, here we go. This, as you can see, the moon changes signs almost like Monday. It starts out with Virgo, jumps into Libra for a day, Scorpio, Ophiuchus, and then Sagittarius for the rest of the week. I believe that's Friday. Saturday, the sun changes into Cancer signs. And I just want to draw there. No, let's get there we go. And we really have two sections to this week. Monday into Tuesday, we're completing the transits from last week. So we're kind of starting on Wednesday really with a clean slate. And then we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And aside from these Mars transits here, you sort of do get a little blurb there, but it's really, you know, because of Mars, it's one big long phase. Kind of three clusters, finishing last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday cluster, and then a Saturday, Sunday into next week cluster. Let's clear this out. And let me close this out. Okay, let's start with our lunar energy. My notes here. I did get the blog post. It took me like 6 hours to get this all typed up and stuff yesterday. It was horrible. The moon in Virgo is looking for self-improvement and how it can improve and make yourself better. So that's what it's looking for. So this is a time for self-evaluation, accepting responsibility for your life. So that's what this time is about. The shadow is it can fall into this crippling self-criticism and pessimism and negativity that leads to just wasting time. So ideally, this is a time for you to look at how can you make your life better. And the shadow of this is falling into this rotten mood of life just thinks I can't get any better. I'm trapped in this crappy whatever. So that's how we're starting out. Ideally, things do get better. This long transit is finally over with Jupiter, the planet of opportunities and recognizing opportunities, and the nodes of the moon, with the sextile, the sextile to the north node is an excitement about how seeing things from a different perspective can bring you peace and stability. That's what Taurus means. So it's opportunity to find stability by seeing things through from a higher or a different perspective. And this trine is finding stability by learning how to release unrealistic expectations. So, let's face it, certain things you're just not going to do. Got a cat on my lap, learning how not to try to control cats. I do have a cat on my lap, being peaceful right now, thankfully. Here's your kitten commercial. This is the Power Core kitten. He can go from my kitchen, from my pantry, through my kitchen, all the way to my living room, barely touching the floor, because he'll jump up on anything he can jump up on and run across. He's a crazy little kid. But this is realizing how releasing unrealistic expectations and learning to see things from a different perspective can help you bring peace and stability into your life. Mars conjunct Uranus in Taurus. And Mars does not really like being in Taurus. It's like, what am I here to do? Learn peace and stability and calming down. And Mars conjunct Uranus is having the courage to be your authentic self in Taurus, and how you find peace in life and live at peace in your life, being your authentic self. So there's that. The shadow. Let's see what else. Be open to opportunities. Nope, wrong one. Yeah, open opportunity to see situation. Nope, wrong one. I forgot to advance this. Yeah, the courage to assertiveness, to be your authentic self, find peace and stability into us. Address your own hypocrisy in order to help you learn to be more authentic, can strengthen you as well. You're going to face challenges. Know that these challenges are there to strengthen you. Be careful in becoming headstrong and stuck in being ego very eccentric and out there, or selling out and being a conformist. Both have you looking impulsive, lazy, trying to be something that you're not is just not going to bring you peace. Okay. And this happened on Sunday. Sun in Gemini square to Chiron in Pisces. The Sun in Gemini is learning. The spotlight is learning about yourself. And squares are challenges. Anything that's a square is just attention. But if you successfully navigate it, it brings you strength. If you look at the pyramids, everybody thinks the pyramids are strong because they're triangles, and yeah, triangles can be strong. But if you get up close and you look, they're built on these squares, and it's that tension that keeps them in place and gives them their strength. And what is the spotlight on? Learning to heal and see things from a higher perspective and release things and release wounds of the past. So the challenge here is to learn how to release the wounds of the past. So accept the challenge, learning how to heal would help you with your identity, learning who you are, and seeing things from a different perspective can help you at all as well. It's possible to learn from others who have faced similar struggles, seek out their stories. You learn, it's a perfect opportunity if you're learning from others to see how they, everybody, we're all individuals, but we share similar stories. And when you see how other people who've had wounds similar to yours have been able to get up and over them and release the wounds, it can help you as well. I think the biggest challenge here is learning that you're not alone. The shadow is, you can make this wound a permanent part of your identity, or make it a part of your identity and become identified with it, and you can live in denial. Oh, I don't really have that problem. And you can deny the problem, or you can make the wound part of your permanent identity or part of your identity and try to live it. And that's just going to alienate people. All right. And on Monday, the moon enters Libra. The moon, your emotional self. Libra is about finding that balance, being able to deal with things from different perspectives and weigh them out. And it's about accepting paradox in your life. And it can help you to see things from different perspectives and weigh them before making decisions. My final cup of coffee for the morning. The shadow of the moon in Libra is be careful falling into indecision and wasting time. Falling into indecision, wasting time is just going to drag things out and make things more miserable and more difficult for you and for everybody. Tuesday, take a deep breath and exhale. No major transits happening today. We're not, by the forecast that I'm using, I'm within 1 degree of exactness. That's why those transits are so short. I'm just talking about what's immediate at this moment. So we're releasing the transits from last week and getting ready to start the transits for tomorrow. So do take that time to take a breath, relax, release. And on Wednesday, we begin with the Sun in Gemini and a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. Sextile is an excitement and an interest. So it's being excited to learn about your authentic self and how that can bring you peace and stability. So follow your heart. What makes you feel real brings you peace. Unusual events or interesting people may enter your life. Let them and listen to them, follow them. Who knows where chasing the rabbit hole will lead you. The shadow. Be careful of not living your own life. Uranus can be wildly eccentric. You're not going to accept this version of me. I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb and just do things to get a reaction from people. Or Uranus can also sell out and conform. So be careful of that. Doing things just to get a reaction or trying to fit in with others is not going to bring you the peace you're looking for. Not going to bring you any peace at all, and you're going to learn the wrong lesson. Wednesday, we have Mercury and Leo in a trine to Chiron and Pisces. So this is learning. Basic lesson is learning to heal. And a trine is an easy energy to work with. A little bit in goes a long way. Um, I know people don't particularly care for gambling and stuff, but my analogy here is walking into a casino, dropping a quarter or whatever into the slot machine and winning a $10 or $20 payout. You know, you put a little bit in, you get a lot back. So Mercury in Leo is learning to express yourself and how to express yourself. And with it in the trine to Chiron, it's healing the wounds that held you back from expressing yourself and getting over them, seeing them from a different perspective, maybe how they are actually helping you to become better at expressing yourself. So learn to heal and release the wounds that keep you from expressing yourself, and learn from others. Again, other people have faced the same challenges you have, and have had similar wounds. You know, I stuttered. The movie King George's Speech, pretty powerful there. So be open to learning from others and how they overcame, and that can help you learn how to overcome this as well. This shadow, Mercury, can be a know-it-all or refuse to learn. And in Leo, it's just being out there wanting to be seen. Cat just jumped on the table and there was a pile of newspapers. It almost went flying. So trying to do things just to be seen, just to get a reaction, playing to the crowd. And Chiron and Pisces can be trying to deny the wound or just numb the pain. So just numbing just trying to numb the pain and avoid the wound and just be seen is be a disaster in the happening. Living out your wounds in public can turn people off and leave you lonely. Denying them is not the same as healing them. That's what I have written in my notes. Oh, that does taste good. On Wednesday, like that last transit needs moon in Scorpio, the shadow of the moon in Scorpio is a rotten mood. In Scorpio, with the moon in Scorpio, things can get a little emotionally intense. Intense does not mean bad. Everybody, seems to think that Scorpio is all bad. It's about taking things deep and to a deeper level and understanding things at a deeper level. And Scorpio likes facing truths. So you're facing emotional truths. So be ready to face some unsettling truths in your life. Conversations can be intense. Your interactions with people can be intense. Expect it. Go for the best. What's the best possible outcome? Be careful of falling into rotten mood, as this will drag yourself and everybody down. Let's see. Thursday. Let me see. Venus in a sextile to the South Node in Virgo. Venus in Cancer is about taking care of yourself, and the South Node in Virgo is about how perfectionism holds you back. So it's being excited to see how holding yourself to unrealistic expectations can hold you back from taking care of yourself and being in your relationships. Venus is about relationships and nurturing your relationships. So how holding yourself to unrealistic expectations can hold you back in relationships, how holding others to unrealistic expectations can hold you back in relationships. So that's learning to let that go and finding out how you're doing that and releasing that. So release stress by letting go of perfectionism in your relationships. Know what is out of your ability to control and live with it. Know that people do support you in your efforts to change. The shadow of this is be careful of becoming defensive and holding on to them and unrealistic expectations for yourself and others. Cancer can be very defensive. Cancer can also try to fall into invisibility, trying to hide from relationships, crab pulling into the shell and not being seen. Saying, "Oh, I'm just never going to be good enough to get involved in relationships," and that's the shadow there, and that's just going to ruin everything. Ruin it for yourself primarily, but when you think about it, we're meant to be in relationships with other people, you know, how you're holding other people back as well. And Thursday, the moon enters Ophiuchus, time for emotional healing and being able to gain the knowledge that can help you to heal yourself first and foremost, and then help others with similar wounds to heal, and maybe even being a mentor to them. So time to learn to heal, receive that information and the training that can help you. Becoming the wound will drag yourself down, and using the knowledge that you gain to wound others will drag them down and give you a bad, and drag yourself down and give you a bad reputation. Friday and Saturday, things get very, very busy. So expect things to be busy this weekend. So Venus in Cancer is in a trine to the North Node. Venus in Cancer is in a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So this is nurturing your relationships, and this is being able to see things from a higher perspective and release what needs to be let go of. So releasing perfectionism and unrealistic expectations can help you improve your relationships and be more nurturing. And like I said, a trine, a little bit in goes a long way. So hey, you know what? Supposed to meet with a friend for lunch at 12 and they show up 5 minutes late. What's 5 minutes? Big deal. They showed up. That's the most important thing. So let's see. Learn to release stress and just be by being present and in the moment. Enjoy the now. Taking time to relax can be beneficial, and just chilling out in your relationships. This can be a good thing. Know that relationships just are, and it's just best to accept them that way. So trying to control people, bad thing. Shadow of this, becoming defensive and falling into fantasies about the relationships and what you expect them to be, is just going to be a bad thing to happen. And it's possible to become snippy and defensive, and then pretending things and living in the fantasy about the way things really are, just bad. Let's see. This is, yes, an interesting transit here. Mars in Taurus is in a sextile to Neptune retrograde in Pisces. A sextile is an excitement or an interest. So Mars is interested. Mars is learning to be still, and it's interested in learning. How learning to be still in the physical body. How is that helping you spiritually? And reflect on how that can be helping you. And are you learning the spiritual lessons that can help it bring you peace and stability in your life? So are you and the key thing is here, are you defending your ability to do your spiritual practices when you need to do them? And they don't need to be big and outlandish. They can be simple and quiet, but are you learning to do them? Are you defending your ability and your right to do your deep inner work? And are you taking time to sit still and listen to your own inner guidance? Reflect on these questions, and how can sitting still and being still bring you the peace and stability that you are looking for in your life at this time? The shadow of this, Mars and Taurus, can be a stubborn bull, and Neptune in Pisces can really fall into fantasy and delusion and denial of a lot of things. Be careful of delusional thinking or falling into excess, rigid dogma. The shadow, this could be very Mars plus Neptune can be rigid dogmatism, and there's only one way to do this, and I have to follow this step by step. And instead of bringing you peace, it brings you greater stress. So there's that. And on Friday, the moon enters Sagittarius. Emotionally, you're up for something new, something different. And my notes say, expect the unexpected. Get up, go out and have a little bit of fun. Sagittarius on the weekends, emotionally, it's been a week. Get up, go out, have some fun, do some exploring, and kind of ties into all sorts of things. But yeah, let's see where where did I miss? Oh, here we go. Expect the unexpected. Surprises can be helpful and if welcomed, and be open to opportunities for new experiences and meeting new people. So emotionally be open to the new and the unexpected. Sagittarius likes to get up, go out and explore. What new things can you find? Uh, be careful. The shadow here is falling into the status quo and defending it. This is what I always do on weekends, and I'm not going to change it, and be a bad thing. Saturday, really royally busy here. I think there are 4 trains. Do I 1, 2, 3? Yeah, there are 4 things on Saturday. So Saturday does get a little busy. Like I said, Mars in Taurus is looking to find peace and stability. Pluto in Capricorn is doing the deep inner work, and it's retrograde. So it's asking you, are you doing the inner work that can help you find peace and stability in your life? And do that. Are you doing that deep inner transformation that can help you there? Ask the hard questions of yourself, and do you have the courage to face reality? Pluto in Capricorn, do you facing reality? And the trine, put a little bit of effort in, a lot comes back. So this is actually an easier transit than it looks, in spite of it being Pluto. And be careful, the shadow here. Mars and Pluto in the shadow can get really, Mars can get angry and moody or be a total pushover. And Pluto can just go south fast. Pluto can be very cynical. This isn't going to work and just break everything. Mars in there can be bad. Be careful of telling others or telling yourself deep truths that you might not be ready for, or getting into old arguments that lead to deeper wounds. So I just want to draw something in here. And at this time, you also have that sextile to Neptune. I know it's not the greatest straight line, but hey, we'll deal with it. So how is that spiritual work helping you do the inner transformation that's bringing you the deep peace? I'm just going to keep it simple. So there you go. Oops, let me close that out. Next slide. Mercury in Leo is squaring Uranus in Taurus, and this is the challenge of being your authentic self in public. And squares are challenges, but if you work through it properly, it strengthens you and gives you stability. So this can actually help. This can actually be challenges to you being your authentic self and being your real self in public and sharing it with people. Some are going to say, hey, this is great. And some people are not going to buy it. Hey, that's fine. That's on them. Where do we have that? So learn to be peace with expressing your own truth. Pay attention to coincidences in your life. What are they telling you? Unusual people may be able to help you. And learning to be in, your authentic self can help you as well. Let's see. Shadow here, playing to the crowd would be horrible, and trying to sell yourself out to fit in, not going to work. Or trying to be a conformist and giving in is just not going to work for you as well. Trying to play to the crowd is just going to be a disaster. Be your own piece of the puzzle and you'll fit in where you're supposed to. What do I have here? Know that being a pointless contrarian is not as the same as being independent. Being eccentric is not the same as independence. Getting a reaction from people is different from being your authentic self. Also, selling out may result in feeling down and out, less of yourself. So be careful that this is learning to express your authentic self, and it's going to be challenging, but do it. The rewards will be great. Venus in Cancer, sextile to Jupiter in Taurus. So this is nurturing your relationships, excited to an opportunity for peace and stability. So yeah, Venus, yeah. the two good luck planets, as they're called when I did an older form of astrology. These were the two good luck planets. Venus and was the lesser benefic, and Jupiter was the greater benefic. So there's great opportunity here. Nurturing relationships can bring you peace and stability. And there's an excitement here, knowing that if you do that, that you'll be learning how to do this, and there'll be payoff. So look for the joys that bring you peace in life. Simple gifts can mean the most. Trust the generosity and the support of others as well. And this can help you find the stability in life that you're looking for. It's Jupiter in Taurus is an opportunity for stability, and by nurturing your relationships, this can help them and bring stability. The shadow here, be careful of over and underreaching in your relationships or feeling entitled. That can ruin it. And being defensive can hold you back as well. And it won't bring you stability, it will bring you instability. Not doing any work or not making any effort, it's not going to bring you what you're looking for. And being the proverbial bull in the china shop is just going to ruin everything. And also on Saturday, the sun, your ego, your core self, your core identity. I know there are people who really do not like the word ego. Ego is just your core self. You're not here to lose your core self. You're here to find it and become it. And in Cancer, you're learning to nurture and take care of that part of yourself. So it's time to focus on getting in touch with your roots and your core self and taking care of it. Be sure to schedule quiet time and get away from the world. Nurture this part of yourself and take care of it. I run into too many people. Oh, I've gotten rid of my ego and I'm just one with all. And that's not who you came here to be. You came here to experience an authentic version of yourself. So learn that. Watch out for becoming mechanical in your routines or going through motions in your life, or becoming very defensive or snippy, or taking care of others and avoiding your own needs. So this is about you learning to take care of yourself, and you can lose the opportunity by becoming Florence Nightingale to everybody else and ignoring yourself. And that can lead to a woe is me attitude. And Sun in Pisces is in a trine to Neptune. Sun in Cancer, I'm sorry, is in a trine to Neptune in Pisces. And it's in a trine. A little bit of effort goes in a long way. How can nurturing your spiritual self help you take care of yourself? So this is doing that deep and reflecting on your spiritual work. How is practicing your spirituality helping you nurture and take care of your authentic self? So take care of yourself by examining your own inner path and practices. Look to others who have similar practices for inspiration and ideas. And by doing that, reflecting, if you're actually doing the practices that are authentic to you, it can help you nurture and take care of yourself and become more of yourself. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. The shadow is being invisible or covering everybody else. And Neptune is just falling into fantasy and denying things. Of course, I'm doing the work. No, you're not. Or the other one is atheism. I'm going to just use that term broadly. It's just denying the need for spirit. Excuse me, denying the need for spirit altogether. So being careful of trying to hide away or running amok and taking care of everybody else. Excuse me, I apologize. Or running amok. Duck Amok, the cartoon by Warner Brothers, just going through my mind now. Yeah. Okay. Be careful of that, or be careful being defensive, and defending the past at all costs. Hold on a second. Be careful being invisible, falling into fantasy about where you are in your journey, being headstrong and defensive, or being seduced by the world's offering is a mistake, and being defensive about all that. Being defensive here is losing the opportunity. And then somehow I got into Sunday. This on the East Coast, this will actually, we won't see the full moon until nighttime, but this happens early in the morning ish on the East Coast. But we will be able to see the moon in her full glory that night. But we have the full moon in Sagittarius, and this is balancing. This gets very interesting because the moon will be conjunct Pluto. So, right, moon conjunct Pluto is about doing that deep the emotional transformation and the emotional work. And yeah, even though Pluto is in Capricorn, you're going to feel that. And the sun is just entering Cancer. So, sun in Cancer, nurturing, taking care of yourself. Moon in Sagittarius, you're wanting to get up, go out and explore things. And Pluto is asking, is what you're exploring nurturing you? Is what you're exploring helping you to grow and become your authentic self? Is that helping you in your life's mission? Did you just waste this opportunity? So that's Pluto throwing his spike into the gears. Be open to healing and healing your need for new things in your life. And take time to pay attention what is around you and what might be nurturing for you and what new experiences can be helpful for you. Be careful of trying to hide away or just running around mindlessly or being defensive and defending the past at any and all costs. Yes, and oh, my tablet slid up. So be careful of that. It can actually lead to deeper wounding. And this is a balance. So this is also, this can be a balance here. I draw a triangle in there. You get the fulcrum. So reflect on that. It certainly is a time of reflection. How am I exploring and what I'm going about and doing out and exploring out in the world, nurturing me and helping me? But it's also balancing the need for self-care with your desire to get up and go out and explore things. So there's that. Oops, I gotta close this out. Gotta open it up so I can get rid of that annoying dot. Close this out. Here we go. All right, and that's our weekly forecast. My apologies again for having this be so late. Special event coming up. I'm working with my friend Dr. Danny. He asked me to teach a special course on the nodes of the moon. Danny specializes in Venus, so this course will be starting August 8th, and update, it'll be on a live interview on August 29th. I'll get that information posted when we get it more solidified, and I'll be teaching you how to read the nodes of the moon in the birth chart first and foremost, so you understand that. Secondly, Danny asked me to teach the nodes in transits. What does it mean when the nodes are transiting? How do you read them? And what does it mean when the planets are aspecting? I will use conjunctions as an example, but you'll be able to figure it out from there what that means. And so it'll be a special event. Looking forward to that. It'll be fun. Follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I'm also in the Digital Soul Space, now free. This is a spiritual collective that respects your privacy. No data collected. Everything is, you own your data. You don't need to be selling it. Yeah, everybody says, why do I want to join this when I've got all these? These companies here are making billions of dollars a year off your data and not giving you a penny of it. Your data here is private, and it's not just about astrology. There are many, many, many different modalities covered, from oracle cards to crystals to whatever. So a lot of different things. Oops. Do something really quick here. Here we go, the website. You click here, and this is the website. You go through it. Talk about the different readings that I do. So you can go to here and get the readings. I'm still working on it, but it's here. So you can get birth charts, past life or karmic readings. I combine the two. I do horoscope readings, life cycle, which is where the outer planets are in relation to their natal position. Helps you actually understand some very important lessons. Big picture for the yearly, 3 month, and then monthly. I like to do these from new moon to new moon. And then the packages where I combine these. And if you buy a package, there is a 10% discount built in. If you click on subscribe, it's for my weekly newsletter. You're notified of these wonderful events in advance. So I give you a summary, astrological insight, exclusive subscriber-only discounts, and information on live appearances. If you click on blog, I do post blogs. I've been posting, trying to post a daily horoscope every day, just an overview of what the transits are and what they mean, and a deep dive. And last but not least, if you want to schedule, click on services and let's replace your order. What you're going to get, and I'm finding people are finding that this is great. You order the birth chart. You use the birth chart as an example. You order the birth chart. You're going to get a recording of me doing the birth chart, and you're going to be able to download it and watch it. And then you're going to get time to sit down. When we get together, you're not sitting there listening to me read the birth chart and hoping to get a word in edgewise. Instead, you're going to say, hey, you mentioned this. Talk to me more about that. Or, hey, you didn't cover this, this aspect. I'd be very interested in what you have to say about that. So it's allowing you to take your chart and ask the questions that you have and understand your chart deeper and better. So I'm not impressing you with my reading. You're able to sit down and ask questions and come to a deeper understanding. So go back here. So there we go. So like, follow, share, sign up for the newsletter, and remember, in the visible sky, your life changes. Thank you very much. Have yourself the best week possible.